think one of the joys of working at Global Cleveland is that we get to learn from and watch our leadership in our community. And the next person who's going to speak, who's been so involved in activating this space and making sure that this place works through the many different programs that are offered, is somebody who first moved back to Cleveland in 2016. Many people have met our next speaker at the Ohio City Farm, the largest urban farm in the United States, which is immediately behind Riverview Towers by the West Side Market. And as wonderful as the produce is, the relationships and the meaningfulness of the people who tend that farm, who are from all over the world, make that place so special. Recently, the organization that Patrick leads has gone through a rebranding. Refugee Response is now Resource Cle, but at its heart, it is always the one place that makes sure that whoever comes here, people feel welcome. Our next speaker, Mr. Patrick Kearns.
Imagine tomorrow you had minutes to pack a bag, take your family, and fly to a new country. A place you hadn't been before, didn't know anyone there, didn't speak the language, and were not familiar with the society or the social systems. In most places you would arrive and you'd need to figure it out, often alone. It could take months of time, be full of mistakes, setbacks, and confusions. Now imagine you could design something better. You could help make something that would turn this new place into a new home. And I think you might come up with something like we have here today. A place that not only says welcome, but provides a single stop to navigate through essential services and new opportunities, where you were helped along the way in your own language, and maybe by somebody who came from the same country as you. Each year, thousands of newcomers arrive in Cuyahoga County from dozens of different countries. Each week, people come to Cuyahoga County from other cities in the U.S. where they first arrived. They come here because we promise welcome, and they come here because they look for a place for their kids and their families to grow up and thrive. A little over a year ago, we started a program called Newcomer Navigators with 7 newcomer populations to remove barriers to access, serve people in their own language, and give the message that we want families to come here and thrive for the future. This project was the first funding from Cuyahoga County specifically dedicated to newcomers. And our chief executive, Chris Ronayne, and his team had this understanding and vision, and they kept their promise. And they were all in on welcoming. This whole thing couldn't have happened without our friend and our MC today, Mr. Joe Simperman and his team at Global Cleveland, who tirelessly and passionately advocated for this reality and for this welcoming. In the past year, the Navigator program ran 6 one-stop shop days that reached 246 families. And these days bring in dozens of partners in community services. Right here in this building on January 18th, over 80 Swahili-speaking families were here. 20 families completed new applications, 30 families completed their interviews for eligible benefits. One family we worked with, a mom with 5 kids, had given up for a year on applying for benefits. The family was struggling with rent, they were struggling with food security, and our team member who I see right there, Kavugo, my North Star right there, convinced that mom to come in, fill out her applications, and she did, and overnight they were eligible for $1,000 in food services that changed their lives. And you know what? That keeps that family here. That keeps them here. That doesn't make them think maybe Dayton is the place to go, or maybe Tallahassee. It's Cuyahoga County. A welcoming center is symbolic. It says we value the skills, experiences, and potential of newcomers for who they are and what they bring to this region. And over this first year, 401 families were served, more than 1,300 individuals through this program. This Welcome Center says we're open for business and we're ready to invest in the future. But more than symbolic, the Welcome Center is practical. It's a place where families can get answers, receive services, and get assistance in navigating life in this new place. This Welcome Center was a vision led by our county executive and his team. I want to give a very special shout out to David Merriman, Matt Carroll, and the incomparable Tina Coleman, who has been our partner in crime this whole way, answering calls, making things happen, literally putting up the walls. Thank you, Tina. It's a pleasure to work with you and your team. So Resource Cleveland is proud to be here today, and we're not only here to cut a ribbon, but we're here to start doing the work. Our organization, our team members have committed and dedicated time to staff this building alongside of our JFS partners to make this welcoming center a reality. I see my partners in the Newcomer Navigator program, from Nueva Luz, USCRI, from Smart Development, Nueva Luz Urban Resource Center, and our friends at Rise Together, who dedicated and are also dedicating their time to make this a reality. Thank you for being here today. These things make a difference. It's a symbol and it's a service, and I think it's going to put this county and our teams on the map. So